Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is currently Monday, July 5th, 6:06 p.m. 90 degrees outside. It is very, very hot. I just got done going to the pool. I'm in my wet swim trunks. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to put on the vented seat. I never use that. I need to put that on. I'll dry my swimsuit a little bit. I've had a great day, and I just decided that I was gonna go home and film a bunch of videos. Alex decided to take a nap after brunch instead of coming to the pool. There were quite a few people up there, and he was like, I think I'm just gonna take a nap. And I was like, all right, you enjoy your day. I'm gonna go enjoy mine. And I went to the pool, and after I was done at the pool, I was like, gonna go home and film a bunch of videos. And then I was like, you know, I think I'm just gonna take the day and finish my audiobook, because I'm almost done with it, and then go home and take a nap. And then I am going to meet my friend Valerini at the casino later for a little bit. And then get up tomorrow and get a bunch of stuff done. And I already have my list for the week made, like for my whole week, not just for tomorrow. I have like all these things I want to get done between like making videos, and I've got video ideas for a lot of my channels, for my BookTube channel and my Peter Does Stuff channel. And then I don't have all of my reviews written down because I don't have a lot of ideas right now for what I want to review, but I'm going to write that down tonight. And then I know what I'm going to do. One of my drama videos about tomorrow. I might make 2 drama videos tomorrow. We'll have to see. And then, yeah, so anyway, I've got all that planned out, plus, like, things I want to get done, as far as, like, cleaning out this one cabinet so I can put all my Starbucks cups in there. I'm finishing up my Starbucks coffee that I went and got after brunch, and I have my coffee from brunch as well. Chocolate raspberry was today. Oh my god, it's delicious. It actually tastes like a raspberry-filled chocolate. If you've ever had those before, it tastes so good. So, yeah, well, I vlogged last night, and then I listened to my audiobook. This book is so fantastic. I'm almost done with it. I have, like, just a little bit over an hour left to listen to it. Slept in today. Alex and I went to brunch. He had a bowl of the tomato artichoke soup with a lot of croutons. There actually weren't a lot of people at Patachou today. And then he had his Cuban breakfast with a cup of regular coffee. It was so funny at the end because we were getting our to-go cups filled, and he was like, oh, they're all out of my coffee. And I said, babe, that's the decaf. And he goes, no, it's not. And he looked and he goes, oh my god, I've been drinking decaf this whole time. He goes, that must be why I'm so tired. I go, well, maybe. But anyway, and then I had a gluten-free waffle with butter and syrup, no fruit today, and I had crispy potatoes, which were delicious as well. The waffle was delicious. And then I had my chocolate raspberry coffee and a small orange juice. And we just had a really good time. They said it's kind of like over to the side, so we were talking to like all the different people that like work at Patachou and all of our friends that are servers there. We had a really good time. It was fun. And then afterwards, I took Alex home, and he was like, when I left to go to the pool, which was like 3:45, he somebody in a golf cart. All these subdivisions in Indiana, everybody has golf carts. When we were over at our friend's house the other night, they were talking about how they wanted to get a golf cart. I didn't realize how expensive golf carts are. But anyway, like a brand new golf cart, like used ones, they were telling us you can get for like $3,000. But like a brand new one is anywhere from like $11,000 to like $18,000. I was looking up online, you can get like all of these fancy golf carts that look, we have nowhere to keep it if we had one, but they have all these fancy ones. They have ones that look like Jeep Wranglers, and then they have ones that look like old-fashioned cars from like the 50s, and it's really cool. But anyway, So Alex was watching some show when I left, and the dogs were sleeping with him in bed, and he was just kind of hanging out. And he was trying to catch up on his shows for the week. So I went to the pool, and there were like 2 families with like 8 people each, and it was a lot of people. And at one point, I got in the pool, and then my neighbors across the street, they came up there for a second, and she was like, the guy that usually takes care of our pool every summer is like real sick, and so they've like divided it between like four or 5 people, she said, and each of them have a day that they do where they come and like they test the pool and whatever. She was telling me there was actually a shortage of chlorine in the country right now, which I didn't know. So but yeah, so I was talking to them, and then what else? That was it. And then I left, and I talked to Tanya for a little bit. Well, I talked to my sponsor earlier after I went to Starbucks. I called my sponsor and caught up with her. She's got a brand new dog. You know, she loves racing, and she loves the racetrack and stuff, and so she bought like all of these like checkered like bow ties and stuff for him to wear. She said his bed is like checkered, like black and white, you know, checks like the flag at the Indy 500 and stuff. So so I was talking to her, and she went to the Carmel Fest last night, which is like this outside festival. She said she just went for like, just popped in and went back home. But anyway, talked to her, and then I talked to Tanya Jean, and Tanya had to work all day today. We were trying to figure out a day to maybe go to the pool this week. Her grandkids, 2 of her grandkids are in town, and so I was asking her, I was like, are you going to want to go to our home group tomorrow night? We have not heard anything about our literature meeting tonight, so we're assuming that there's no literature meeting tonight, but since it's in 2 hours and I haven't heard anything about it, it's, I think everybody's kind of with their families and stuff today. And Tanya said she hadn't decided whether or not she was going to go tomorrow night. So, one of the reasons why I don't always go if Tanya doesn't go is because it's so far out of my way. It's like 35 minutes away from me to go to my home group on Tuesday night. So if Tanya goes, I'll go, but if she doesn't go, then I won't go tomorrow night. Yeah, but I'm going to try to go to the pool a lot this week as well. So tomorrow, well, I say that I'm going to get up early tomorrow, but if I go to the casino tonight, I probably won't get up super early tomorrow. It was beautiful today. I mean, it was literally like just a few clouds in the sky. It was like 90, well, it's 80, it says 88 now, but it was like 88, 90, 89 all day long. It was just absolutely beautiful. And it didn't feel like, it was hot, but it didn't feel super hot. And so, it was a good day. It's funny that like, I'm seeing people at the pool that I like hung out with and talked last year, and I haven't seen them in a year. Like when I was leaving, there's this woman, her mom lives in the neighborhood, and so she brings her son up there, and like I talked to them a lot last summer. And so when I was coming up there today, she and her mom and her son were leaving, and she was like, oh my God, it's good to see you. And I was like, it's good to see you too. I said, it's been a year, I can't believe it. And so we were talking, and then this one woman that had her whole family up there today, she was at the pool yesterday, just she and her husband, and Alex was talking to them, and we were talking to them, and I had met her last year. So anyway, it's funny, I'm like seeing all these people at the pool that I literally haven't seen in a year, even though they live in my own neighborhood, you know? It's nice, it's neighborly. I feel like, okay, I'm back at the summer, going to the pool. I've been to the pool quite a bit now. You know, I was feeling kind of like I haven't gone to the pool, and that's like I even just thought, I was like, I'm gonna drive around, then maybe I'll go back to the pool after I get done vlogging for a little while, and just take a final dip, and then go home. I know a lot of people don't like this. Like Alex is always like, I gotta go home and rinse off because he doesn't like the smell of chlorine. But I actually love the smell of chlorine. Like I love to like be in a pool all day long. It was so funny. So this one woman that I was, that I talked to yesterday, it was like her brother-in-law his grandkids were up there, and they were all between the ages of like 3 and 6, and there was like 4 of them, and they were like swimming and playing all these games, and they were being really sweet. And she was like real apologetic. She's like, I'm sorry they're splashing and being loud. And I'm like, that's what kids do. I'm glad they're enjoying the pool, you know what I mean? And they were just real sweet. So anyway, I was sitting next to her on the steps, and they would come over and they would like want to show us like tricks that they were doing in the pool and stuff. And this one girl, she had a bathing suit on, and it said mermaid life or something. And so she was like holding her hands over, and my hands are kind of pruny too. And she was like, my hands, or something like that. And she was like, "Hello," and her, whatever this would be, her aunt and great aunt or whatever was like, "Oh, your fingers are so pruny." And I looked at her and I said, "Do you know what that means?" And she goes, "What?" And I said, "That means that you're a mermaid if your hands are all pruny like that." She goes, "Really?" And I go, "Yeah." And then her little sister, who was 4, she came over and she went like this. And I go, "Oh my God, you're a mermaid too." And then she goes, "His hands are pruny too," or to her brother. And he turned his hands over. I go, "You're all mermaids." And she goes, "Well, actually," the one sister, the oldest sister, she goes, "Actually, I'm an angel most days." She's like, "But I guess I can be a mermaid today." Kids crack me up with what they say, you know. But anyway, it was fun. It was a good time. And so that was my day at the pool. And I think Alex is probably asleep now. Alex always gets like one good day in during the week, or like every other week, where he goes to bed early and like sleeps through the entire night and sleeps like 15 hours. He's like, "I just need to catch up my sleep." I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna vlog, and then I'm gonna listen to a little bit more of my audiobook, and then go home. And then if I don't go take a final, if I go by the, oh my God, Kate Bush, Babushka, I love that song. I loved it when I was in high school. If I drive by the pool and it's busy, then I won't go back to the pool. But if I drive by the pool and it's like empty and there's nobody there, I'll probably, you know, because I like to just like be in the pool by myself a little bit and just, you know, swim around. Babushka, babushka, babushka. So, yeah. It was so funny. Like, I was so, like, I'm gonna go home. I had all these videos I wanted to make and whatever that I'm just gonna push to tomorrow. And that I was, like, all prepared to make. I had watched all these other videos to, like, prepare, you know, to have, like, my opinion for this drama video. Well, it's not really a drama video, but just, like, my commentary on it. And, it was so hard to tweet out, because I tweeted out, like, just got done at the pool, like, I'm gonna go home and relax with my husband. I decided that I'm not gonna, like, you know, film videos tonight or whatever. And I sleep so well. This is gonna sound so corny, but like in the middle of the, like in the late afternoon, early evening when Alex like sleeps, like I sleep so well at that time. I don't know why, but I like can fall asleep like just with like the dogs, you know, being out and whatever, and fall asleep and just for good. And for like, you know, a good couple hours. And so I tweeted out, I was like, I decided I'm not going to film any videos today, but I'll be back tomorrow with like, you know, all new videos on all of my channels. And it was so hard to tweet that out, because I was like, oh my God, like, I have all these videos that I want to make, and blah, 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 whatever, but, you know, it can wait till tomorrow, so. And of course, I always post my vlog. My vlog is, well, I don't think I've started uploading it yet. I rendered it, so it was rendering when we went to brunch. Oh, you know what? Afterwards, I should have come home. Oh, no. I didn't even start rendering it until after brunch. So I'll upload it when I get home, and then when I wake up from my nap, I'll post it. Because it takes a couple hours to upload onto YouTube, but I'm just loving these lazy days of summer. And I'm kind of back at this point again too, like with books, that like I'm listening to books really quick because I'm like really into these books. Now I do need in the next week to listen to our book for, it's called The Babysitter, for a true crime book club. But I haven't read a true crime book since our last one, so I'm excited about that. And then I think that I'm going to space out the two Peter's Book Club's books for July. And then the true crime book I'll wait till like the week of, so it's like fresh in my mind. The last John Glatt book that we read, which was about Chris Watts and his, you know, Shanann Watts and their 2 girls, like that book was so interesting to read, and he did such a great job, I think, with that book. And this one is about the women that were abducted in Ohio, and I don't really know much about this case. I mean, I saw like footage of them on Nancy Grace way back in the day and stuff, or them being interviewed, and I remember when they were freed, but I don't know much about the case at all. I don't know much about the guy. I mean, I was like reading like the synopsis for it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know much about this guy. I don't know much about what happened. I don't know much about the women. So, I'm interested in reading about it. I would also like to read one of their memoirs this month too. So if you've read the memoirs of the women that were abducted, there's 3 women that were freed, and I think each of them has a memoir out about what happened. If you've read any of them, would you put in the comment section below what you thought, and like, you know, which one was a good read, like, which one was cohesive as far as like all of them. And then I also have a lot of books that I pre-ordered that are coming out. The Dorinda Jones book, the sequel to A Bad Day for Sunshine, which is called A Good Day for Chardonnay, is coming out like July 17th or something. And then there's another book, I can't remember what it is, that's coming out. And then the 4th Truly Devious book, I pre-ordered that, and that just came out. I had a bunch of books that I had like, here, I'll tell you what they are. Okay, so I recently bought Burn It All Down, which is about this gay guy and his mom, and they like start like robbing all these convenience stores and stuff. It's supposed to be really funny. Ola Poppy by John Paul Brammer, which I followed him on Twitter for a long time. He's like a columnist. And these are like stories of him coming out as Latino, or coming out gay and like, but also being Latino. Real Murders by Charlaine Harris. She's the one that wrote the Sookie Stackhouse books that they turned into True Blood. We interviewed her a long time ago. The Babysitter's Coven, which is young adult or middle grade books. It's supposed to be like the Babysitter's Club, but about witches. Lost Girls by John Glatt. The Maidens, that's Peter's book club this month. The Lost Girls is True Crime Book Club this month. Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Okay, that was one. Oh, I know what it was. The Grady Hendrix book is the other book that I pre-ordered, which is called the Final Girls Support Group or something. I love Grady Hendrix books. Survive the Night is Riley Sager's new books. I don't love Riley Sager's books, but I don't dislike them either. So I'm excited about that. The Babysitter, which is our book for that was our June True Crime Book Club. The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. That's the 4th book in the Truly Devious series. Deja Dead by Kathy Reichs. I read those years and years and years ago, like the first 2, and I loved them. So I'm starting it again. Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams, who wrote No Exit. I love that book, so I bought that one. The Less Dead by Denise Mina, who wrote Conviction, which I absolutely loved that book, so I went back, and then I have a bunch of other ones. So yeah, I might do an Audible haul on my. This is so funny. Continue listening to these books. This one I've already listened to. It's so funny that it doesn't say that these books are finished. Finished, 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 finished. Finished, 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 finished. Finished, 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 finished. Finished, finished, finished. Finished, finished, finished. Finished, finished. Oh, that all says they're all finished. I'd kind of like to finish the Dexter series this summer too. And get more into the Stephanie Plum, Jana Ivanovich series. because I wanted to get into those and I haven't. Oh my God, Depeche Mode, they've been playing all day long on this Rock 33 First Wave channel, because now they're playing Depeche Mode Strangelove. I don't know if I know that song, but when, I guess I would though, because from the album cover, but when we were going to brunch, they were playing Personal Jesus. And I was singing along with it. Alex is like, they were playing, what is it, Suede Head by Morrissey, and I was singing the words to that, and No Regret, I think that's Bizarre Love, or Bizarre Love Triangle, New Order, and Alex is like, he always looks at me like, how do you know all these words? I'm like, these are literally all of the songs I listened to in high school. This channel is really good. It plays like all the music that I listened to when I was in high school. We actually did a lot for the 4th of July weekend. Like, we don't usually, I mean, we usually do something. We usually get together with Melissa and Jason and Aaron and Eric or something, but we don't usually do as much as we did this weekend. Especially Alex, because like he went and heard the DJ on Friday night, and then Saturday we went to our friend's house and watched the fireworks and barbecued with them. And then last night we went to Melissa and Jason's. I think the poor guy's just worn out, you know? So the fern that my baby bird, well, that the baby Mrs. Birdie had built the nest in, I now have pulled it down. I haven't taken the nest out of it yet. I need to, and throw it away, but I have somebody said in the comment section, I think it was last night when I read this, that a mom will like stay away and then like try to get them to fly to her, and that maybe I was witnessing like a really special moment when the baby bird was standing on the edge of the nest, and that maybe she was singing to it and trying to get it to come over. I don't know, but that's so sweet. So whoever shared that, I think it was actually a couple people that said that, so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. But anyway, the fern that I had that was up there, that was hanging, that had a nest in it, is pretty much dead at this point. So I think that, like, I have a really healthy one that's sitting by the door, and it's huge. I think I'm gonna hang that one, and the dead one, I'm gonna go and I'm either gonna repot, or I'm gonna go and try to cut out the dead parts, and try to bring it back to life. Do you know what is so weird, you guys? Okay, so my plants on the front porch, I mean, they're doing well, they're very pretty, but I've been watering them like every other day, trying to keep up with them, you know, like, and it's so crazy because my plants on the back porch, I have not been keeping up with watering them or anything. Did I already talk about this on here? Because I took a picture of them and I put it on my Instagram. So anyway, so I was out there the other day and I was looking at my plants, and they are like in unbelievably perfect condition, you guys. So just from the rain alone out in the back patio, like I haven't watered them. I mean, you guys, it's been probably 3 weeks since I've watered them. They are thriving. The plants, my Gerber daisies on the back patio, I have never seen them so big. I mean, they are just beautiful and thriving. All of my plants out there are doing incredible. It's like they're so gorgeous. And it's all from rainwater. It's all from just like it raining back there on them, because I haven't watered them. And I don't even remember the last time that I watered them. It was when I got my neighbor's dog all wet. So it would have been, I feel like that was before we went to Florida, and I was worried about them dying. And then I came back and it's like, I just can't believe that they're doing so well, like out in the heat and stuff like that, but they are. I think it also has something to do with the different kinds of plants that I bought this year, because I bought plants that are better at being outside in like really hot temperatures with very little water, so maybe that's why they're doing better too. But the other thing that's strange is that, like, on our front porch, like, my plants are doing well, but the plant that sits, like, it's like this tropical mix, kind of, that sits, like, out from underneath the patio. where it gets like rain on it and stuff. I water it, but like it is doing really, really well too, which I think is so funny because it's the other one that like depends on the rain and stuff like that. So that Everyman Jack sandalwood body wash that I bought from Costco, oh my God, I love it. I used it last night, and I had asked Alex what he thought of it, and he was like, it's okay. He doesn't get too excited about anything. I was like, the other day, I was like, all that J-Lo beauty, have you used it? Yeah, he was like, yeah. I was like, what do you think? He was like, I like it. He doesn't get real excited about anything. So, anyway, I took a shower last night. I mean, I'm like somebody that can get so excited about a new shower. It doesn't take much for me. I mean, because, you know, Tanya, Jean, and I, we hang out in the bath area at the Walmart and at the Meijer, and I love looking at all the different products and, you know, and the ones that, I have ones that are lavender scented, like the Mrs. Meyer's to help me sleep and be relaxed. And then I have, you know, whatever. But anyway, the sandalwood Everyman Jack, I think it's called, or Everyman or something like that. It's really a nice one. It's like a scented sandalwood that stays on your skin too. Because like I hate when you use like a body wash, like that's a scented, like, if you use a scented one if you like them, and then like it wears off, like as soon as you get out of the shower, like you can't smell it anymore. I can't stand that. And so when I got out last night, I like lotioned up, and the lotion that I was using was this Aveeno just daily lotion, oatmeal lotion, that doesn't have any scent to it. And I was like, oh, this is so crazy. Like you can really smell the sandalwood still. And Alex bought me this Louis Vuitton Meteor cologne for my birthday. Oh my God, it smells so good. So many people have stopped me and asked me what it was that I had on. And anyway, I really like it. These houses sit so far back. I guess they're like farmhouses and they're next to like these cornfields. I don't know that I could like live next to this huge cornfield. This is that lake that I was like, what if you like buried your bodies in that lake and just like wrapped them up with cement? I never see anybody swimming in that lake or anything though. Probably because they know that there's serial killers and there's dead bodies down in there. So pretty, isn't it? Look at that. You can see it. Welcome to Indiana. It's kind of weird, like, vlogging out here during the day versus vlogging out here during the night. Just like the things I notice differently. This house right here in the corner, I do not know why, and I'm sure I've said it in a vlog before, but this house right here reminds me, like at night when I'm out there, because it's like the only place on, like you can, it always has lights on and there's people in the backyard and stuff. It reminds me of the house in, oh shoot, what was that Brandon Tina story? Hillary Swank, Boys Don't Cry. That's what that reminds me of. The one where the one girl from the one Becky, the old Becky, she was in that movie. Did you see that movie? With Chloe Sevigny. I love her so much. She was in Kids. And then she's got really incredible style. She hasn't been in anything recently. Oh, she was in that Sister Wives, I think, for a long time, or whatever it was called, that HBO. It was like a show. It wasn't like, not the reality one, but like the show. Something Wives. Big something, maybe. Caroline used to watch that show. I think she was in that for a long time. But anyway. kind of surprised there's not more people out. Like, most people are off work today. Because, like, government offices are closed. Most corporate offices are closed today. I'm kind of surprised there's not more people out, like, barbecuing or grilling out or just being in their backyards and stuff. I mean, it's so pretty today. Stopped! It stopped, it stopped, it stopped. It's so funny when I, like, drive out here during the day. I mean, I feel it at night too, but, like, when I was growing up, like, none of this existed. Like, this was like, if you had said to somebody, like, let's drive out there, they'd be like, what is that? There's cornfields out there. There's nothing out there. I don't even know if there was cornfields out here then. I think it was just, like, woods and stuff. There's literally nothing out here. I used to drive around so much and just look at houses and stuff because I love just like looking at housing and houses and like neighborhoods that I like. This neighborhood up here actually I really, really like. And then there's some of these houses that have just been here for like ever. And these neighborhoods just like are built all around them. This house over here, I remember like at Christmas time looking at their Christmas lights, and I remember saying something about their swimming pool, and they had a really cool swimming pool like out and back. Where Alex and I were, we were like looking at like right out in the open, somebody had, I think it was actually right over here. This is this neighborhood that I really like, and these houses all are very like, that like, when I drive by, I'll show you this one house in the corner. They're very much like that kind of like farm barn looking house. Do you see? I love these houses in here. Well, not that one so much. But like this one right here, I love. This one has a moat around it. This is not in the neighborhood. But this house actually has a moat in front of it. I'm not even lying to you. So, but then the neighborhood like wraps all the way down here. Like this is like not part of the neighborhood. And then here you can see when you get up here. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is where the neighborhood is again. You can see there's all these houses over here. Backs of the houses. I really like that look of like the dark gray, like barn looking house. Like I like that look to a house. I don't know why. When I was younger, I didn't like that, like really dark gray, but I really do like it now. I was in the pool, and this woman that was in the pool with her great nephews and nieces, I was just like trying to mind my business. I was honestly just trying to relax, but this kid was being so friendly. He was like, "Do you like Star Wars?" I go, "No, not really." I mean, I don't know how to have those conversations, you know. He's like, he was 3. He goes, "Do you like Star Wars?" 3 or 4, and I go, "No." And he goes, "What movies do you like?" I mean, how do you say like, "Well, I love Jessica Lange and Diane Keaton and Crimes of the Heart" to a 4-year-old, you know? I said, "Oh, I like all kinds of movies." "What kind of Star Wars movies?" I said, "Well, I've only really seen like the first one and part of the second." "Why?" "Because I have." "Why haven't you seen more of them?" "Not because I haven't." "What other kind of Star Wars movies do you like?" I'm like, how many different kind of Star Wars movies are there? And I know to him, like, it made some kind of sense. Like, are there cartoon Star Wars movies? Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew that, like, to him, like, it made sense. So I'm trying to, like, and she's sitting there and she's just, like, laughing. And, what kind of cracked me up about it was that is, like, mom and dad were, like, sitting at a table, and, like, the dad got in for quite a bit. Like, this kills me with kids that, now, they were different. Like, the dad got in for quite a bit. The grandparent, the grandfather, and then, like, the great aunt and uncle, they were, like, in the pool for a while. But I mean to tell you, these people bring their kids up to the pool. And I was telling her, actually, because she came over and sat next to me, because then later, okay, one of the mean people from the HOA, she came up there, and she was looking at all of us like we were the scum of the earth. And so, my friend, I saw her, that just moved in the neighborhood in February, she came over, I said, now you need to be really careful of her, I'm just going to tell you right now. And, she was like, why? And I was like, well, if you do something, she won't come over and say to you, like, oh, you shouldn't do that here, because they were drinking, like, beer out of a bottle. Like, they were taking beer and they were pouring it into these glasses, and you're not supposed to have glasses at the pool and all this kind of stuff. Well, that makes sense, right? I said, but she's not the kind that will come over to you and say, hey, you're not supposed to have glasses. I just use this as an example. At the pool, she wouldn't say that to you. You just get a letter in the mail that said, the board was notified that while you were at the pool, you were drinking out of a bottle, and you can't have bottles at the pool, so we're going to write you up, is basically what it is. Because she really wouldn't come over here, and I said, oh, no. I said, it's happened to me on many occasions for many different things. Like, she won't say anything to you, but then, and it was so funny, because this woman, like, walks in the neighborhood, and she was in charge of, like, the landscaping and stuff, and she, like, I said she would walk down, I would be sitting on the front porch reading, right, and this was back in the day, like, years ago, when it took forever to do our walk, and she would walk in front of the driveway, and then she would walk down, like, or walk in front of our yard, like she was just taking a walk, and then turn and walk down the driveway. She wouldn't look at me. I'm sitting on the front porch. She wouldn't look at me, right? And then she'd turn on our walk, and our walk goes like this and then up. She'd turn on our walk and walk up, and she'd get to be where she was like maybe 5 feet in front of me. Wouldn't look at me the whole time before then. And then finally she'd look up, and she wouldn't say like, hey, how are you? Or how's your day going? Or how's your weekend or night or whatever. What are we going, she'd just say, what are we going to do about this walkway? This would crack me up, you know? So, I think it was like she and her husband, who is sour and surly as hell, I think it was she and her husband, and then like, maybe their son, I think it was their son, and his wife, and they're like newborn. The baby looked real young. And then it was like maybe the other grandparents, I think. It was like all of them. But when they came into the pool, it was just me by myself. And then there were these 3 gals at the end of the pool. I had forgotten that they were there. And then this family of like 9 or 10, right? And there was really nowhere for them to sit except for these chairs in the shade. And so her husband started putting his bag at my table. And I'm like, I'm sitting here, you know? Like, I mean, I literally was sitting like right there. And she didn't even say hi to me or anything. I mean, she knows me. She's known me for 10 years. And she just looked at his bag and she goes, not there, in the shade. Not the friendliest of people. But I did find out that there is a space available on the HOA board. And so my neighbor, like, somebody came to her and said that this is the one I was talking to, that she should run for the HOA board. And she goes, you should run for the HOA board. I said, can you even imagine me on the HOA board? I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. I am much happier over here complaining about everything than actually having to do something about it, being sour. They approve everything that's for them. This is how my neighbor across the street that wanted her patio, do you know what somebody told her? Because she didn't get it approved for screen and porch. But she's not done fighting that fight yet. But they said to her, they said, the easiest way to get your screen and porch approved is to get on the board. And she goes, why? And she was like, because if you're on the board, they approve everything that you want. But if you're not on the board, they just say no to everything. I'm like, it kind of cracks me up, because now Alex and I are like, we're good neighbors. Like, our yard is done, you know, everything's done. Like, our front porch looks nice. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have been like, oh my God, your front porch looks so nice. I love your new chairs. I love this. I love that, right? And people are so friendly to us now and everything like that. I mean, hell, it only took us 13 years. You know what I mean? But people are so friendly now. So we've kind of learned to, like, maneuver, like, the neighborhood and stuff like that. And it's so funny because the people that are on the board, like, they take themselves so seriously. But they've also been on the board forever. Like, they've been on there for like, they don't like do it like a term and then retire. It's like they shift roles constantly. So it's like, who was the head of landscaping is now the president. And the next year, that person is no longer the president, they're the secretary. It's just like the same 5 people just go through it. And I do know that there are other people in the neighborhood that want to be on the board. And the other thing is, if you're not on the board, they ask that you don't come to board meetings. Like, they'll, like, you're allowed to come, but they would encourage you not to. That you just read the minutes from the meeting, unless you have an issue that you need to bring up at the meeting. That's what I've been told. I don't know if that's true. So, oh my God, Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. I don't know if that's true because I've never really wanted to go to a board meeting. So, but Alex has wanted to. Alex is like, I'm running for the board. I go, Alex, and I was telling my neighbors that today, and they got laughing so hard. They're like, please have Alex run for the HOA board. That would be so funny. But like, Alex would be so serious about it if he did it. Like, he takes that stuff seriously. He's like, oh no, I would run that board. And he was like, I would have this neighborhood so like, we would have it like figured out quickly. And he was like, and I would also want to know why our HOA fees are so high, and we would be minimizing those HOA fees. Our HOA fees are high. Like, when I talk to friends of mine that live in condos in Indianapolis, they're like, how high are your HOA fees? And I'm like, $431 a month. And they're like, you pay $431 a month. I'm like, it has gone up. Well, the last 2 years it hasn't. So I know this next January, it's like, I don't even know where they come up with the 31. Like, I don't know where that comes up with. But I just know that next year, we are like ready for like a major, like, it's gonna go up. The price is gonna go up. But then, you know, like I was telling Alex yesterday, I was like, you know, my mom moved in here in December of '94 when I got sober, and that summer, '95, I started swimming there. And I said, and the pool looks exactly the same, you know, and the neighborhood looks exactly the same. I mean, the trees are bigger, but like, they have done such a fantastic job maintaining it. It's beautiful in here, you know, and it's safe. And so, to some degree, like, the things that people complain about is that the snow removal never happens until the last snow falls, whatever. But they do mow the lawn like once a week. I mean, seriously, they come in there and they mow. I mean, the lawns are beautifully manicured. The pool is kept up. The tennis courts are fantastic. I mean, I don't use them, but you know, the guard gate is like always maintained, and you know, it's just, everything looks so nice. So, I mean, at the same time, it's like, I understand that, but like, I still think it's kind of like a lot of money, you know? I remember I was telling Alex, my old roommate, and I, after I got sober, before I met my first boyfriend, that summer after I got sober, she had moved back here from Kansas. She'd been living with her grandfather in Kansas. So she moved back here, and this is my friend that lives in Berlin now. And what did she email me the other day? She goes, I can't believe that I'm saying this, but I hate Berlin. She goes, how do you hate Berlin? She's so funny. But anyway, we had this joke that I used to call her Fancy Flamingo. That was like our code name for her. And so she signs all her emails. All these years later, she signs them Fancy Flamingo. Isn't that so funny? But anyway, because she lived with her grandfather that was like older and couldn't hear. And so I would like call and I would ask for her. And let's just say her name's Judy, right? And I'd say, could I speak to Judy, please? And he'd say, huh? And I'd say, Judy, could I speak to Judy, please? Huh? So one day, I don't know, but out of the blue, I just go, it was something like, had been some joke that between she and I, some name or whatever, but like not like a big name. And I said, Fancy Flamingo, is she there? And he goes, hold on. And so I told her, I was like, girl, I asked for a Fancy Flamingo and your grandpa gave me put you on the phone. So so she would sign all of her letters like Fancy Flamingo and stuff. But anyway, so she still signs her emails Fancy Flamingo, which I think is so hilarious. But anyway, she and I got so was into working out and running and all kinds of stuff. And after I got sober, I mean, I wasn't in the best shape of my life, but I was active, you know. And she and I, that whole summer, we would go over, and there was like, now there's like a time limit on the pool. You can only swim so late and whatever, but back then it was like, you could go swimming at 3 o'clock in the morning if you wanted to. And my mom was kind of a night owl, and my roommate was a night owl, so we would go over there, you know, like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and the roads are so nice and the neighborhoods around that she and I would rollerblade, and we would rollerblade for like an hour, and then we would come back to my mom's, and we would get my mom and we would go down to the pool, and we would night swim, you know, at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we would go back to my mom's, and she'd make like a pot of coffee, and we'd sit around and talk and watch a movie or something. I mean, we had so much fun that first summer that I got sober, and because my mom was sober too at that point. You know, she had gotten sober on June 2nd. That's her sobriety birthday, and we just had so much fun. It was such good times, you know, and my mom would always bring out, like, you know, some cheese and cut up some cheese or whatever, you know, and we'd be in the pool forever. It was so fun. But then one summer, when my mom was there, somebody took all of the pool furniture and they put it in the pool. Like, all of it. Like, they used to have all of this, like, really nice furniture, like wrought iron furniture and stuff, and they destroyed all this furniture. And so then they put like this huge fence around the pool. There was a fence, but it wasn't as high as it is now. The fence now is like really high, and they put an alarm system on it. There's an alarm on our pool now. It has like cameras and monitors and stuff, which that's probably what our HOA fees are paying for. I quite frankly think it's like a lot of money, but whatever. They have like motion sensor lights, and they have cameras, and they have all kinds of stuff. I don't know, the guy that runs the pool supposedly monitors all that. I don't know who's monitoring it now, since, or if it just records it. I don't know what it does, but I do know that there's a camera shot right on the pool with all the stuff, and there's motion sensor lights, so if you walk up there, even if you're just walking your dog, they like these floodlights going all over the pool, and the outside of it too. And that was all after that. And then we have these wristbands that you had to have to get into the pool, and then there was like a code, and then the code thing changed, and now we have cards that we have to use. If I can reach my bag, I'll show you. Here's my towel. I've been going to the pool so much, you guys, that like all of my towels are my ribs are hurting, that all of my towels are down in the basement and need to be washed. Isn't that so funny? Like, you guys think I'm joking. Like, this is serious. Okay, this is like a kidney-shaped backyard pool, okay? Let me tell you how serious this is. This is like Fort Knox to get into this pool. I have all of my, oh, my keys are in here too. I have all of my cards here for my country club, which is not really a country club, but whatever. Okay, so here are our cards for the country club. We have 2 of them, one for me and one for Alex. That says our names on it, and it says 2021 member. So excited. Okay, let's put those over there. And then this is our card to get into the, what do you call it, into the pool, and it scans it, and then it like does something, I don't know, but it like beeps, and then it's like boop, boop, boop. Click. It's like this heavy duty lock just to get into the pool. And then there's of course 400 rules, you know, can't do this, can't do that, can't do this, can't do that. The one rule that they have stationed everywhere that cracks me up is no kids unaccompanied without parents under the age of like 16 or something like that. And can I just tell you how constantly there are kids up there that are unaccompanied by anybody that ride their bikes up there? I drove by this Italian restaurant the other day. Was it today that I drove by it? And I was like, you know what? I didn't even know that Italian restaurant existed. It's so cute in there. Looks so cute in there. I was like, Alex, I need to try that Italian restaurant. I will say this. After this weekend, I feel like very relaxed. Like really relaxed. It's interesting how like the books I listen to also kind of affect that. Because I was really thinking last night about like how I I love this book that I'm reading, and I really truly at my core love young adult, and I love cozy mysteries. I think those are my two favorites. I like thrillers too, but sometimes thrillers kind of stress me out no matter how much I love them, and I love true crime. But like I can't read like true crime back to back to back to back to back. I can't, it's just like too much. Like I start noticing like I get in my head a lot and I start thinking about this, and it's just like a lot for me. Like we were talking a lot about Delphi last night because Erin, my friend Erin, is like, she knows a lot about that case, and so she and I were talking about the documentary Down the Hill and all that kind of stuff. And like her ex-husband lives like her kid's dad lives like right outside of there, like, so she knows that area. And we were talking about like the girls that went missing and like all this, because they supposedly caught somebody, right? And there's a lot of conspiracies about that. And so I just noticed that like when I like talk a lot about true crime or read a lot of true crime or read a lot of thrillers and whatever, even though like cozy mysteries have like a thriller aspect to them, they're not as like dark and like, I don't know, it's just like sometimes when I read all that stuff, it just like really has an effect on me. And even though I love it so much, and I love scary movies, and I love all that, like, I remember a couple years ago watching the interview with, like, RuPaul and Oprah, and RuPaul said that he didn't watch scary movies anymore because he doesn't allow any of that in. And I can remember watching that interview and being like, that is so silly. Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, that is so silly. Like, you know, but then I've really noticed a difference, like just in the last couple years. Like if I watch too much of it, it's not like watching a scary movie does it to me, or even watching like 3 or 4. It's like the consumption of a lot of negativity, like starts having like an effect on me, you know? And I have to be real careful about it, you know? And I kind of have to, like, if I'm in a great mood and I'm watching, like, back-to-back episodes of a zombie story, like, that's one thing. But if I'm, like, in a kind of negative space anyway and I'm irritable and then I'm watching a lot of it, like, I notice it's kind of a different thing, you know? So, do you guys ever feel that? Like, when I'm, like, listening to, like, cozy mysteries or, like, you know, YA books, contemporaries or whatever, which I love, it's like... I just feel lighter. I feel like more like, la, 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 you know, whatever. So, I think I just have to be aware of that. And not listen to back-to-back, like, true crime, or watch those kind of shows back-to-back and whatever, you know? Or movies. Like, Alex was actually showing last night. Have you guys seen that on Netflix? They have the 3 Fear Street movies that just came out. I think they just came out. Alex was just showing us the trailer last night. And it's like 1994 is the first one. And then it's like 1986 or 80, I don't know. And then it's like... Or maybe it's like 2021, 1984, and then like 1666 about the witches and stuff. They look really, really good. But I was like watching a trailer of like all 3 of them, because it's like they have one trailer that's like shows all 3 of the movies. And I was like, I don't know that I could back-to-back watch all 3 of those movies. I mean, I do love scary movies, but it's just a lot for me sometimes, you know? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to listen to next after I finish this camp book. I'm almost done with it. I really like it. Although I have a feeling there's going to be a real sad part that's going to happen to it, and I'm about right there where the sad part's going to happen. I just know it. There's lakes in Indiana. Did you know that? There's some lakes. People are out there on the lake today. Anyway, I think that I'm like almost... The battery has been at the halfway mark for a while, and I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't stopped yet. So I think I'm going to get off here and listen to my audiobook and head on home. And then I'll only have like... Well, I've got to get my vlog up for tonight, actually. So... I don't know. What are you staring at, dude? This guy is like... Look, I'm going to pull up and stare him down a little bit more. Anyway, I hope that you guys are happy. Tomorrow, back to Tuesday, is back to the regular work week. Back to the regularity of it all. So anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday. I hope that getting back to the regular work week isn't too hard for you. And I love you guys so much. Be kind to one another. Put love, kindness, forgiveness, understanding, hope, faith, and courage, tolerance, dare I say, wonderment and awe. I'm not saying tolerance. Hope, faith, and courage. But most importantly, love. Put love out there in the world. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!